Aloha, friends and neighbors. Rollin here, Kona Astrologer. I've got a blockbuster show for you. I'm going to move fast. Hope you can keep up. I'm going to run through the sky mirror kind of quickly because I want to get at Mr. Trump. I've got some predictions about him, and this is a very special show. Here we go. This is program number 1057. 1057 weeks I've served you. And this one is one you're going to remember. The major thing in the next week coming up for you, however, is that Venus is going to go stationary retrograde on Friday, 11:10 p.m. It's going to get sexy. I don't know about the way I've drawn Venus here, but I'm too old to pull my punches anymore. I know too much. I must start just telling it as it is. And Venus is very sexy. I don't mean just lovingness, sweet girl pigtail curls. No, I mean carnal sex. And you're going to feel that Friday night at 11:10 p.m. So enjoy. I've drawn up a chart here for you where Hawaii's in the center of this one. You still got Jupiter opposing Uranus. Rich people are beating up on the homeless and setting the police on us. There's Pluto squaring Jupiter, squaring Uranus, opposing. It makes a big old T-square, we call it. Saturn is here in the mix and is trining over here to this. It's really kind of a thing because Mars is close to Uranus. And when Mars gets close to Uranus, Uranus fights back. Maybe that's what I'm doing here. Anyway, I got a lot of energy and I'm going to take it like I think it should be done. And so here we go. First of all, how's it going to be for you over the next 10 days? We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern. These planets are the people in your life, by the way. Yes, you're getting tired of lawyers and judges, aren't you? And anyway, you had a new moon, and the sun right now is on Neptune for you. Yeah, Neptune's at 12 Pisces, sun's at 13. So there's a lot of dreamy stuff, inspired stuff going on. Let's see what I come up with. So, you know, if you're on the Thursday night show, oh, look at the lineup. You got nice sextile to Mercury and to Neptune and to the Sun and a trine to Pluto. And Thursday night you're watching this show. This show is going to be an eye-opener. Yes. So day by day for you, what happens? Well, as the moon runs around the edge, it's in Taurus on Thursday night. You're getting all those good hits. Friday morning is a trine to Pluto on March 3rd. And moon's in Taurus. You know, there's still discovery going on. By the way, this show, you can see it again, if you want to, on my website, skymirrorastrology.com/TV. The last 5 shows are there, and this is show 1057. So you can watch the show again and again. I recommend you might do that just to wait to see what I got for you. Anyway, so Thursday night, Friday morning, the 3rd, at Discovery, some inspiration, and it feels pretty good all the way through Friday. Saturday morning, you wake up, the moon's shifted into Gemini. Here it is right here. It becomes busy and increasingly confusing as you go into Saturday night when the moon squares Neptune. Yeah, it's going to square the sun too here Sunday morning. But look at there's Venus. She's shining her light. She's beautiful in the afternoon or in the evening sky. Really bright. So Don't drink Saturday night. If you want to enjoy Venus the most, when the moon sextiles her, and be with somebody you love and stay in bed. Yes, don't drink. Neptune will confuse you. Sunday morning early, the square to the Sun and Mercury. You won't get nothing done. It's hard to communicate. But in the middle of Sunday, here's nice trine to Jupiter and a sextile to Uranus. And there's enlightenment here. However, Saturn is still over there, the judge. Here he comes. You got to do things traditional. Where's the rules and the law? We're a nation of laws. Oh boy, don't get me started. So you're going to feel that Sunday night. But there is a nice sextile to Mars. And maybe there's something we can do about some of this stuff. On Monday, March 6th, the moon shifts into Cancer and gets increasingly inspiring. Monday night, here's the trine to Neptune. You got music, inspiration, religion, art, music, color. Feels kind of good if you just let go a little bit. On Tuesday, the moon's still in Cancer, and it hits the trine to the Sun and Mercury. Got ambition, huh? But don't try to do it on Tuesday, because our nasty T-square, shifted back from Wednesday. It's actually on Tuesday now. And there it is. Starts with the opposition to Pluto before lunch on Tuesday. Eek, a bug! Panicky, isn't it? Oh boy. Then there's a square to Jupiter. We're overdoing it. Too much of everything. And then there's a square to Uranus, and suddenly there's no power. And oh boy, feel isolated, don't you? There's stuff going on in the world. It's not in our control. No. Wednesday morning, the moon squares Mars, and you're not, what can I do about this? Nothing. Just wait it out. The moon shifts into Leo, and as you go through Wednesday, it gets more and more mellow. Thursday morning, here's a trine to Venus again. Stay in bed Thursday morning. Be with somebody you love. It's not too late. No. She's stationed here on the 3rd, and this is only 6 days after her station. So she's still pretty active here Thursday morning. Could be a very enjoyable, mellow, loving morning. Yeah. On Thursday night, here's a sextile to Jupiter. A lot of the bad planets line up good. First there's wisdom, then there's media and everyman and common sense late. That's midnight, 1 a.m. in the morning. And then finally Friday morning, the judges come in and say, yes, we're gonna put a stay here on. We're gonna stop some of this terrible destruction of our world and our environment. Hope so. Here's Mars, the hero. He wants to protect everybody. It's in the middle of Friday, the 10th. And if you did a good job starting Thursday night, you're going to protect some stuff too. Don't use that Roundup. Talk to your neighbors. Don't use that stuff. No. Here's some nurturing. Moon goes by the North Node, the Dragon's Head, about dinner time. Everybody wants to nurture. That's very nice. Moon's in Virgo. As you go into Saturday, though, you're heading towards a confusion zone again. Here in the middle of Saturday, around lunchtime, the moon opposes Neptune. What's that bad smell? Can we trust this thing? I don't know. I don't know that this is trustworthy. Well, you're right, it's not. Yeah, you'll find out Saturday night, here about 10, 11 o'clock, the moon trines Pluto. There's discovery. The Sherlock Holmes has done his job, hopefully. Doesn't help too much, though, because on Sunday the 12th, one watching the screen, sorry. On Sunday the 12th, here we've got this full moon in Libra, or in, in Virgo. Virgo runs all the way up to right to here. So here we got a full moon Sunday morning in Virgo. It doesn't particularly like Saturn, but it does trine Pluto. So we got a month of discovery going on. It's a little depressive though, huh? The moon squares Saturn in the afternoon of Sunday the 12th, and then opposes Mercury, and the kids aren't happy. And we feel kind of stuck on Sunday. Lucky you didn't have to go to work, huh? Oh boy. All right, Hawaii. Let's start with an executive summary, okay? Here it is. I made a note, so I'd get right on it. There it is. Mike Pence will be president. Yes, Mike Pence, the vice president, will be president after a lady attacks Trump following the August 21st full solar eclipse. This is almost a joke. I said, Mr. Trump, stay away from Dallas. The eclipse does run through there. I mean, anyway, there it is. Out front. Mike Pence, get ready. You're going to be president all of a sudden. This kind of pushed me over the edge. I never liked this guy. He uses a lot of big words. He's insecure about his intellect. Very right-wing. However, I'm on his side. He and I agree. It turns out Trump went and did a thing. Another thing. This one to me was horrendous because it was about the sheriffs and all the police. And what happens here, it's called civil forfeiture. It's a racket. And I got caught up in this. 25 years ago, I had a horrid divorce. A policeman named Little Bear or something, or Little Buffalo, got in the middle of our domestic and broke a bunch of my bones. It went into a lawsuit. The ACLU backed me, but I lost. I won, however, because I stopped the police departments in Hawaii from choking after that, even though I lost the lawsuit in the ACLU. Upshot was, I fled to Kauai. I still had a little cabin left. I gave everything else, and everything was taken from me in a nasty divorce. But I was on my little cabin on Kauai, and I had a job at the health department taking care of all the pollution. High-stress job, because nobody there wanted to help me. Now, the boss of the health department sent me over there to straighten them up. Upshot was, I was in my 40s. I had a new wife, a new little son, a very high-stress job. I had a couple little pot plants in the backyard. I was smoking the leaf. And along came the SWAT squad, came into the house with machine guns, vacuumed up every little particle out of the microwave, and proceeded to go and charge me big time. And they tried to take my house. They had a lawsuit against the house, the last thing I had in the world. To fight them, I finally had to plead no contest, become a felon. My last $5,000, 5 years of probation, 5 years of community service. It ruined the career of the most promising environmental health thing Hawaii had ever seen, all over civil forfeiture. They were doing that here. Oh, even a little tiny bit of pot, and they would take your stuff. They're doing it. They're still doing it all over the U.S. They'll take anything they can get their hands on. Civil forfeiture is a racket, and Trump is supporting it. These practices are terrible in our country. Just terrible. When I first got to Kauai, I saw the police chief driving around a Corvette. The guys at the health department said, "Oh yeah," they laughed. "He got that from some drug dealer." Ha ha ha. Well, they tried to take my life savings, my house, everything for a couple little plants, Mr. Will. And it's happening all over the islands. Yes. When I got to here, to the big island, I went to a little house way up on the top of the mountain, and somebody tried to burn it down. Another forfeiture. Cops took it. The owner had his heart in it. There were little kids' toys. So he started to burn it. Yeah. This is a racket. This is fully Nazi crap, folks. And Trump is supporting it. And George Wills, I didn't even notice he worked for the Washington Post. Anyway, kudos to you. Boy, this has been going on a long time in our country, folks. Real Nazi crap. Now, I don't make this prediction lightly. Back in '81, I accidentally made a prediction about Reagan. He had an eclipse on his sun. And I forgot I was talking to a news reporter, thought I was doing a chart for a client, just blurted it right out. Terrible stuff. You know, terrible stuff. If he survives, you know, his first months, he won't be out of the hospital for 6 months. Get out the vice president. And, you know, the guy that was with him took the hit, too. They're not always accurate in the newspapers. On the second page, there was this thing here. I never used the word doom, but the lady, she got into it. I was young then, huh? Gave me a lot of trouble, this prediction. I talked to Moby Dick, the other astrologer in Honolulu, longtime friend, old Baptist minister. I said, Moby, would you join me in this prediction about Reagan? No. He says, they never predict death. Last time I did, a fly came in my mouth. I couldn't spit it out. I had to swallow it. Terrible taste. Oh, boy, I said, what can you tell me? He quoted me a biblical passage. Moby Dick was actually an old Baptist minister, named Don Jacobs, who got into astrology to debunk it, and then found out it was real, and he became an astrologer. Anyway, Moby was my friend, and he quoted me a biblical passage and said, he who predicts death will have it visited on himself. Son of a bitch. Yeah. So I was caught in this thing accidentally. And damn, after Reagan took his hit as predicting, my father died. Yes. And then Moby died. The whole thing came down in a couple of months. So I don't take this thing lightly that I'm about to do with Mr. Trump's chart. But I'm going to give you some of the evidence and show you why. And first of all, there's the eclipse. Runs right through here. This is where it's, you know, full solar eclipse runs. It's only seen in the U.S., and it's going right across the country, bisects it. Yeah. What's this, the right wing down here and the left wing up here? I don't know. But this eclipse at 29 degrees of Leo falls right on Mr. Trump's rising sign. Yes, I know this data is correct. You can't miss him because he's Leo rising, and he has Mars right on the rising sign. There it is. He's a Martian. He knows how to go out and do physical things to protect. Oh, it makes money, huh? Leo, the king, such arrogance. But then, you know, that's Leo. I've never liked him. Too many tall guys when I grew up. Leo types walk around all proud, and for some reason they gain leadership roles. Anyway, here's his chart, and I started working on it a bit because he's got this Mercury, Neptune, foot in the mouth, says right, means left, confusion, delusion. One of it happened between Christmas and January 28th. That's because of a full moon. Or was it a new moon? Anyway, another one happens March 28th to April 26th. Now this is a full month when he's got his foot right in his mouth. And, okay, so, gosh, Mars, you know, is getting into his chart too. Some tough periods here. So what happened? Well, here's the chart of the eclipse. Now, it's kind of like Venus is carnal. A lot of people don't understand eclipses. And one of the keys is ancient societies, when they had an eclipse, everybody go run and hide. Oh, they thought these are superstitious, scary things. No, eclipses kill things. Eclipse of the sun, king dies. Father figures die. Eclipse of the moon, mother figures die. I remember when Princess Diana and Mother Teresa both died after that lunar eclipse. You know, very close. Anyway, this is a full solar eclipse. It's in Leo. Here it is. You can see it right there. 2852. Trump's rising sign's 2958. It's only 1 degree and 6 minutes off. Oh boy. Eclipses kill things. So this is the body. The rising sign is your body. You know? Yes. I know. I've seen a lot of eclipses go off. And once you learn what they are, boy, you watch them like a hawk. That's what Stonehenge did. That's what the Mayans did. They're watching for those eclipses. Because those are... Now, you could use it for something good after this August 21st eclipse. You want to kill something off? Kill your tobacco habit. Kill your late-night Haagen-Dazs habit. There's a lot of... You have bad habits. You can use these eclipses to your benefit to get rid of something. Okay? Getting rid of Mr. Trump. You know, the king, the CEO of America? No. So here's another note again. A lady. Why do I say a lady? Trump's ruler is the sun, for one thing. The sun has this opposition to the moon. The moon, south node, a lady who's hurting and needs help is Trump's enemy. Trump has got the nurturing and goes off and stiffs the lady. So this is like in ancient books, which planet is going to kill you is the one that most afflicts the ruler of the rising sign. And Neptune's tried to get me a few times. Anyway, the moon is his enemy, okay? That's why I say a lady will attack Trump following the eclipse in late August. Mike Pence will suddenly become president. And it's sudden for Mr. Pence, okay? Very sudden. I have some big advantages this time because I got the chart of the U.S. government. Other astrologers don't seem to recognize it. I don't know what's happened to American astrology. But I got it, and I know it's true, and I've worked it. So I can do the solar return like I would do for you. If you have an exact time, the solar return now is in Washington, D.C. When I do the solar return for this next year, which happens on July 8th at 8:17 p.m. in Washington, D.C., what comes up? Well, what comes up is the moon here conjuncting Pluto, yeah, by only 1.25 degrees, opposes the sun. Who's the sun? Well, the sun is the father figure, the boss. Conjunct Mars, that describes Trump, doesn't it? Here's the moon. She's in the 12th house, secret, quiet place. She's attacking Trump. So this is the lady that attacks. Now, it could be a man, a round-faced Cancer rising man with the moon on the rising sign. I wouldn't rule it out. Other interesting thing, this moon at 1.25 degrees, if you advance it, that's a month and a week. That brings you to August 15th as the time when this thing goes off by the solar return chart. Okay, and that's when the progressed moon here, the solar return moon advances to oppose the sun exactly. Okay, back to the U.S. chart. Yeah, July 5th at 2:06 a.m. The real birth, the last guy to sign the Declaration of Independence. So I've got the chart of the U.S. here in the center, and he's got 6 Gemini and a half rising, and 8, almost 9 Gemini Uranus on the rising, which is the ruler of the 10th house, which is a big thing for a country. Now, when you go and look at that August 21st, by progression, the progressed chart of the USA on August 21st, what do you see? Well, there's a progressed moon in the 7th house of partners and enemies. Uh-oh, it's already been there for 1.25 years. And it's at 22:54, it's opposing Mars, which squares Neptune. So it's on the Neptune-Mars square of the USA, which normally I would just say, oh, we're going to have a little war with somebody. Somebody's going to tick us off, and we're going to all go into Martian zone. But it could be more serious than that, because here's the progressed rising sign. Now, this is a big deal. This thing only moves about at 1 degree per year counterclockwise. And it's at 21 degrees 10 minutes. Look at the Mars, 21 degrees 37, and Neptune 22:25. So this progressed rising sign has moved up here. We've been aware of enemies now for some time. And this is open enemies. These are guys like Russia, or I don't know about Russia. It looks like Saturn in other ways. But I wouldn't peg who the enemy is. But I know this, that we're going to be on full military alert for some reason, trying to protect ourselves with Mars here. What are we protecting? Well, there could be other things besides losing a president. And a couple of them come up. One is fires because of the eclipse in the central USA and some Mars things. We could, this is the end of August. We could have some massive fires going on, eating up our corn and stuff. Another thing is Neptune's taken a hit. That's San Francisco. Runs up to Oregon and Seattle a bit, and Portland, but San Francisco is famous. So we could have a quake. There's a couple things in other charts going on. San Francisco quake kind of shouts. So we have enemies and friends attacking us and stuff. We have fires, earthquakes, and this is not an easy time for the U.S. Let me give you an example. Here's the chart of 9/11. One of the reasons I have the U.S. chart, because I looked at it, and all of a sudden we were very conscious of ourselves. The progressed moon then crossed the rising sign. Oh, it's our body, our body. But here's that progressed ascendant we were looking at. It only moves 1 degree per year. And what happened? Well, the ruler of the 10th house, 856 Gemini, progressed rising sign 850, opposed, see, the ruler of the rising sign. So this is the enemy coming after you. And we got the same thing going on here with an enemy, the ascendant, opposing the Mars squaring the Neptune. So this is a big thing in the U.S. chart. Some details on Mike Pence. The earlier eclipse, a lunar one, August 7th, over here, opposes, it removes barriers to his career. Okay? The solar eclipse is on his Pluto, gives him all power. When you look at his progressed chart, he has a progressed new moon. And and it's right on Uranus, the ruler of his 10th house. A whole new beginning, a new 28-year cycle for his career. It happens kind of suddenly to him. He's got the power now. Oh boy. August 21st eclipse is on Pence's Pluto, rules his 6th. Bodyguards, suddenly they're going to freak out. They're going to be all over him.